Welcome back. Yesterday I couldn't make a video because I had to go outside and fix this nose pads, because it's been piercing into my nose bridge, and it's just giving me some clues like is it time for me to change my frame? I don't know. So I just went outside, went to two shops and tried out many frames, but I never liked any. And finally they told me they will just see if they can find something like the one I am using now, because I like big frames, because anyway doctor has asked me to put anti-glare and all those things. Like I also go for day and night. So it's like a convertible, in the sense it's like a sunglass and a power glass. So I just asked him, why can't I get a big frame like you have for usual sunglasses? When you go for sunglasses, you have frames that are very, very large. And so he just told me that it doesn't work out that way, because the power cannot be fixed or adjusted, especially because I have a progressive glass. I have vision problems too. I have short sight and long sight also, so you can't fix it in glasses which are like the curved ones. There is something on my glass again, I can see that. So I had to go out, and when I came back it was so sunny, I can't tell you. So I couldn't make a video. Did I make one day before yesterday? I don't know. Maybe I did. I can't remember. Okay. So today what are we going to talk about? Today is a beautiful Sunday. I just say that it's beautiful. Sometimes you have to make your own day beautiful. If you say, oh, today is a dull day, obviously it's going to be a dull day. Even if it is not, there's always silver linings, they say, in life. So if you want to see those silver linings, you have to start by seeing things are good, things are getting better. So if you start telling that to yourself, somehow you start looking for the silver linings there is, and it so happens that your days are much better. And even if we are going through difficult times, it so happens that when you look at the positive side, and even if you cannot see anything positive, if you live it as one of the options, there is something positive in everything. It so happens that you are able to focus on the silver linings there is, right? So that's one way of just coping with everything in life. Life is not fair. I've told this 1,000 and many times. It is not fair also. It was never fair for me, and that was never my view even as a child, even as a teenager. Now I've become an adult, and I am in the middle age. I would say 40s. Of course, being in 40s is your middle age. So you have life enough and more ahead of you. So I still believe life is not fair. I don't think if anybody could say life is fair, nobody would say, because they have had their portion of struggles and suffering and difficulties and hardships and everything. I would say everybody has it in one form or another. So life is not fair. I don't know if it is meant to be, but it is not. And so it's good to have some tools and skills that we develop in the meantime as we deal with life. So with years, most of us, I believe, have developed a set of skills or tools which we are more equipped than we used to be in dealing with hardship, in dealing with problems of life, isn't it? It's not like we don't know that life is unfair. Even if you don't want to say unfair, it is never fair. So what is there in between fair and unfair? Is there something that happens in the middle. I don't know. So it's better if we are equipped in some way to deal with it. As it opens up, we all get annoyed, and I do get annoyed. I get a lot annoyed whenever things are not going right. I like everything to go right. So most of my life to make it possible, what I have done is that I have tried to escape from things. Escapism is something that I have tried many times in life. I try to escape from things that is not going right, because I chase peace. I want peace all the time. And though I know that peace is not something that you get when you are away from the world, and getting back into your own world, in the sense everybody has two worlds, I believe. One is this world where we live in and where everything happens. The other world is your own world. You have a world of your own, right? So whenever we our approach is about escaping from problems, from the realities that is, we end up staying, or we end up being in that world which is your own. And most of the times nobody else is aware of that world which is personally yours. So that has been my technique all most of my life, but I've tried to change it lately, I would say. I've stopped escaping from things, but I cannot say that it's always been like that. It's not always been like that. I've tried to get stuck also many times at many places, many faces. Just a second, let me clean my glasses. Okay, so I was telling you that I have been stuck also at various times, at various phases of my life. So it's been like either you get stuck in one place believing that this is where I have to be, this phase of my life is something that I have to face. As they say, the best way out is through, they say. The best way out is through, which means that you have to go through certain stages of life to get through it. There is light outside the tunnel, they say, but to be able to see that light, you have to pass through the tunnel, and there is no other way. So where are you trying to escape to? I've asked that question many times to myself, but the thing is that my world is more beautiful, and it is more peaceful, and it is more positive, and there's so much of optimism in that world. But the reality is not in that world. If you want to create some realities, you have to get back and be with this world, where people are, where the things are happening, where there are many things which are unfair, where everything is not happening the way you like it to be. So that's how it is. Okay, so my technique has always been escaping from this world to the other world, which is solely my own, and going there, you kind of you don't get things done being in that world. That's the worst part of it. You can be in your own world. You can invite somebody else to be in that world, because everybody who likes solitude also likes company. You need somebody to tell that solitude is so good. You can't keep telling that to yourself. Anything good you see, first thing that comes to your mind is there anybody else I could share it with? Because it always feels nice to share things with somebody else. So what you do is you invite somebody else to your own world, and be there, and kind of keep away from the other world, which is not fair, where there are so many things which you really don't like at all. So those kind of people, they use this technique, which is escapism. I've used it so many times, and I've regretted many times, because it's just like the other day I told you, knowing is not enough. So many times we know things, but we don't accept it. I always knew that escapism is not going to save me at all. It's just taking your time off. How long are you going to take an off? Like you want to go on a vacation, you want to go outside to get rejuvenated, and so that you can come back. It's not like you're going to live there forever, because when you're born, I believe that you have to devote a big portion of your life being in this world, where there are people, where there are events that you basically may not like. It is not happening the way you like it to be, and so on and so on. So what you basically try is to get away from it. Everybody wants things to be fair. We try to fix things, and when we fail, we some people, I mean like me, we use this technique which is called as escapism. And being, where are you trying to escape to? Usually you escape from one place to another, you escape from one group of people to another group of people, and then you slowly tend to realize that it would have been much better if you had learned some skills how to cope with the life that is not fair at all. Because wherever you go, you tend to experience similar kinds of instances where things are not fair, where things are not happening the way you want it to be, and where there is no peace. So many things. So even if you escape from one place to another, it seems like everything just follows. It just comes with you. So finally, where are you going to escape to? You want to escape to a place which is your own. That is your world. You know that in that world, nothing happens. That's the worst part. So again, sooner or later, you have to get back to this world, the reality world, the world where things are, where people are. So that's one thing. So other than escaping, what can we do to handle these situations which are not fair, which we don't like things to be that way, but then it is that way so many times in life, and we know that so many things that happens is not the way that we like it to be. But then how are we going to deal with it? If you don't want me to escape, then what is the other way out? There must be some other way. So we have to think about that. I've been thinking about that, and I've come up with some ideas now. So in my life, it's either escapism or it's about getting stuck. Because whenever I'm guilty about escaping, going to my own world for a very long time, being there, I am guilty being there. Let me just confess. When I feel guilty, what I do is I try to get stuck. I'm like, you just fight. You be in a place for a while and you get stuck there and try to manage things. And so both these things don't work at all. Getting stuck doesn't work. Escapism doesn't work. So what can you do about these situations which is not fair? I mean, when life is not happening the way you want it to be, what can we do? So from that experiences, I'm just telling you that most of the things in life, it's like 50-50. 50% of the things can be shaped according to what you want it to be like. You have control over certain things, but on certain things, you just don't have any control. It applies to many areas of life. Very interesting it is. So think about it. Which are the areas that you have control over, and which are those areas where you have absolutely no control at all? So let me take you to the sunlight, which is today. It's a morning thought. This is a morning thought. So I went to the optical shop, and they have told me that they will try to get something like this, the kind of glasses I'm looking for, because I like big frames with this part has to be quite wide, and I like these kind of glasses. So they told me that they will try to find it in some brand or he told me some names, I don't remember that. So he will just try for it. Otherwise, he said you may have to go to city. You will not find it in this town. So let's see. And I checked my power, and it's the same. In last 2 years, nothing has changed. Thank God, because I knew that nothing has changed, because I've been very, very disciplined in using my glasses. Most of the time it's like 24 hours, except the hours that you're sleeping. Which means that 12 hours of the day, I sleep for 7.5 hours these days. Okay, though I would love to sleep for 8+ hours, but unfortunately it's not yet time for me to sleep for 8+ hours, but I try to get sleep around 7 to 7.5 hours. And so when you're doing that, I don't use my glasses, obviously. So other than that, I have my glasses all the time. So let's see if we can get it, then it's well and good. I will change my glasses. Now this has been I bought it in 2021. So it's okay. In 3 years you can get your frames changed, somewhere between 2 and 3 years. Okay, so let me just get up from here. Let's take a walk and talk about. So did I leave you with something that you can think about whenever life is not fair? I'm telling you, don't escape, don't get stuck. There is something that you can do about it in the middle. We'll talk about it in the next blah blah blah. Okay, did I not tell you that my hair is not black anymore, and I feel so sad? Sorry, it is black. I don't like black. I don't like black at all. So all the time I'm thinking about it, how to get it colored to some browns, because I love brown colors. Not black at all. Not black at all. Something else. So I don't know. But I don't want to bleach it. So is there any way, do you know about how to get your hair colored to brown shades and not just go for a bleach? So if you know it, just let me know. Okay. And do you have this habit of escaping from one world to another world? Do you at least have your own world? First question, do you have a world of your own where you would like to spend some time on a daily basis, or a weekly basis, or a monthly basis, or once in a year probably, or just randomly at some moments you just want to get to your own world and just forget about this world that is the reality, because it is not fair? Let me just reassure you that life is not fair. It is not. So many things that happen here is not fair. But since we are a part of this, we have to deal with it. There's no other way. We have to. Where are you trying to escape to? So many people have asked me this question, and I always told them, see, it may be better that side where I'm trying to go. You never know. Why do you discourage me whenever I tell you that I need to go from here to there? And I'm just hoping that things are better there. So they tell me, why don't you just stay this side of the fence and fix things here rather than try to go to the other side of the fence? Unfortunately, at these hours we don't have sun. I'm hoping that it rains sometime. Is it raining in the North Indian side of the states? I don't know. They said it's going to rain there, but I am expecting that it rains here also for a while, because it's become unbearable. Yeah, it's that hot. Unbearable heat. You cannot go out, because I'm not somebody who would hold umbrellas when I go out, but the other day, from last week, whenever I'm stepping outside, because it's so unbearable, I'm just holding umbrella and going, because it's that hot, and when you come back you're so tanned even if you use a sunscreen, you know that. And not just that, it's so hot that you kind of get some ajeeb sa headache when you come back. It's that hot. So that shows that it's high time it rains at these places, at least for 3 days, so that there is some relief from this heat and things are better. Okay, that's about it for today. I think I will show up tomorrow with something more interesting. So whoever is going through anything that's not right, anything that you don't like, because many things, whatever is happening around us is not just it's not wrong, but the thing is that we don't want it that way. That's the difference. We want it differently. We don't want it that way. So whenever we don't want things to happen the way we wish for, the way we like it to be, we are kind of frustrated, not frustrated, irritated, basically annoyed. Frustration is something that happens when you sit on it, when you sit on that mode of being annoyed for a very long time, you just bloat it up. That is when you get frustrated. So we should not be using that word frustration to begin with, because when things are not going right in your life for any reason, that doesn't cause you frustration. Frustration is something that you experience after a prolonged period of sitting on your worries and being stressed for a very long time. Okay, so we will not say frustrated whenever things go differently from what we like it to be. We are annoyed, upset, and angry, and pissed off, and irritated. That's what happens. So whenever that happens, usually there is the reason is not that whatever is happening is not right. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just that it's not the way you like it to be. Right? That's about it. And we don't know what to do about it. So at that point of time, you are sitting on that worry, things that are stressing you out. When you sit on it for a very long time, bloating it up, not sharing with anybody, not letting it out at all, what happens is that you tend to be frustrated. So don't get frustrated. When you get frustrated, it goes to the pipes that is connected within ourselves, and then it gets blocked, it seems. Because some people overeat when they are frustrated. They take it on things that are in your control, because when things are not in control, we have a tendency to look for things that are still in our control, like eating. Eating is something within our control. We tend to eat. If sex is something that is in your control, you have more of sex. When you're frustrated, you just vent it out. You have so much of energy. And that's how life works. People take it out on areas which are still there in their control. See, usually when you get angry at other people, when you try to hurt them, when you are taking out violence as a media of control, why do you do it? It's because we get a feeling still there are some ways we can express that we are in control of things. And one way of doing it is like beating others, getting angry at them, yelling at them, screaming at them. So it just shows that we want to control over things. So whenever things are not in our control, we are irritated, we are annoyed, we are upset, we are worried, and you don't share it with anybody. You sit on it for a very long time and take it to that extent that you're frustrated. And when you get frustrated, it kind of builds up inside our body. And probably, I'm not talking about science, it could also get into your pipes. Okay, so if you don't want it, you have to find some ways of letting it out. And that's it. Your health is your priority. We have to remember that. I'm not saying that everything is in our control. So many things just happen because it's not in our control at all. But at least there should be some things that are in our control, like our own health. Don't give it to anybody else. In the sense, even not to people who are trying to instill some kind of negativity into you, because whenever we are influenced by the negative factors there it is around us, it takes on our health, and that's not something we would just let happen, right? So take care. I'll be back with some other lessons like this and some talking on Monday. Okay, today is a relaxed day, so be relaxed and just be relaxed. Take care.